Okay, so are you camera ready? This is the next element in Get on the Set. So now that we know how to tell our stories, we have to know how to interact with the camera. Okay, what is the camera saying about you? How are you connecting with your audience? There are some things that you really need to know to be able to really leverage it. Okay, now I'm going to go full screen here for this. Let's do that. Okay, so way back when, this is many, many years ago, a UCLA professor, Albert Mehrabian, did a study on the way we communicate, and he found that 55% is physiology, it's body language, and tonality is 38%, and how you say what you say, and our words are only 7%. Now, this doesn't sound very realistic, but you know what? The study showed that it's really important. So it's not what you say, it's how you say it and the body language you use when you say it. So smile more and watch your words, watch your tonality, right? So let's get a little bit more into it. How do we make the camera love us? And that's a big question. Well, a lot of it is the perception that comes across, okay? When you get on camera, you want to have a certain look for what you do. People expect us to look a certain way. That's why when we see commercials and things like that, and we see a doctor with a stethoscope. He's in a studio. He's not getting ready to go see a patient, but the white coat and the stethoscope, it tells us that's a doctor. It's somebody in the medical industry. And that brings more credibility to what they're saying rather than just sitting there with a blue shirt, for example. Okay, so the thing what we want to keep in mind is that you want to dress for the camera and your audience. Okay, so here's a great test for you. If you called a plumber and he showed up at your door looking this way, would you say, hey, that's a plumber? I better open the door, let him in. Okay, now if he showed up at your door looking like that, what would you think? Is that the plumber knocking at your door? Would you let him in? Probably not, right? So what's the difference? Why? Because he doesn't look the part. Now I'm exaggerating here, but that's really important. So your natural style, nowadays we accept the natural style a lot more. Like I don't really like to wear jackets, okay? Because when if I'm in front of the camera, I'm in the studio, I feel a lot more comfortable if I'm wearing something sleeveless. Well, you see a lot of, people now on TV, sports people, you see the anchor people, the women, they use sleeveless, so it's not a big deal, but that's their style. At the same time, you see them wearing jackets, and that's their style. What is your style? People come to expect something of you. So as long as you are within business casual, business formal, whatever your style is, it works. Okay? So the next thing that we want to take a look at in making the camera love you is how do we use our body language. Now take a look at this young lady, and posture is really important. Looking confident and competent, okay? Now sit up straight and stand up straight. Looking confident, is part of it. Our body says a lot about how we feel. Now, when you see somebody slouching, they don't look confident, right? If they don't look confident, we don't really believe what they're saying because it seems like they don't believe what they're saying. Gestures. Look natural and inviting. Be comfortable in who you are. Smile and reach out in a comfortable way as if, you're talking to a friend, even if it's somebody you're just meeting, because remember, they're just as, uncomfortable as you are. Most likely, we don't know. That's the whole point. So the more comfortable you are, the more natural you are, the more inviting you are, the more accepting you are, the more comfortable they're going to feel. And that applies for the camera as well. Okay, so your camera is your connection to your audience. So sit up straight, smile, look at the camera, and everything will fall into place. Be yourself. Energy wise, you want to be magnetic and captivating. What does that mean? You want to be excited about what you're sharing. Now, if you're in your passion, talking about something you like, and focused on the difference you're going to make in people's lives, it becomes easy to be magnetic and captivating because energy, it reaches across the camera and really, it connects with your audience. Okay, energy is very, very important. Your eyes maximize connection and trust. Well, how do you do that? Well, you do it by looking at the camera. Remember that the camera lens is really the eyes of your audience. So if you're looking at the camera, that means you're looking at the person who's on the other side watching you, right? Now, if you were at an event and you were talking with somebody and they were looking over your shoulder, over the other way, or whatever you're talking, and they're answering a question or you're answering, there would be a disconnect. Now, when you're talking on camera, it's okay to look to the side. Like, for example, I'm looking there to look at my PowerPoint so I see what the next segment is. I can turn around and look at you again. That's okay, but make sure that you are making eye contact with your audience. Very important. Okay, so next, looking and sounding your best on video. Okay, now this is what we're going to be sharing a lot in Make the Camera Love You, and I'll tell you about it in a second. So the thing is, dress for success. Watch your body language. Watch your vocal quality. You don't have to sound like an aqua person. Okay, you don't have to sound like you've had 50 years of vocal training. I'm exaggerating, but you get the picture, right? So be yourself, be confident, and the more relaxed you are, the better your voice is going to sound. Okay, and makeup. It doesn't have to be complicated. Simple things that you can do to look the best you want to look, the way you want to come across on camera. And too much makeup, ladies, too much makeup, it could say that, you're focused too much on your physical appearance and not as comfortable. And there are people who don't like to wear a lot of makeup. Okay, so it's just you being yourself, being comfortable, coming across as who you are is the key, because you're going to attract people who are like-minded, who like what you like, who like you. And just like in person, we're attracted to certain kinds of people. And that happens on camera too. So bottom line, it's about you being yourself. It's about feeling your authentic self. It's about coming across as an authentic, caring person who really wants to make a difference, who really wants to serve. Okay, that makes all the difference right there. And that's the 93% that comes across. So the stories that you tell, remember, the words are the stories, that are written for the story. They come across in your body language. They come across on how excited you are about it. They come across on how you feel when you're telling that story. So put all that together, you get your 100%. And in our trainings, Jodina St. John, who's, let me go full screen over here. She was actually the reporter that I hired when we were doing Access to Experts at Channel 6 in San Diego. She was the reporter there. And so we have many, many interviews with Jodina. There's trainings that I'll be including in Jodina sharing the vocal training and body language and all that. So that will be included as well in the training that we're doing next, which is Make the Camera Love You. So you'll be crafting your message, looking and dressing the part, mind your body language, amplify your natural voice, and watch your backdrop and frame. This is going to be all part of the Make the Camera Love You. Again, look at the schedule. You'll know when that's going to be released. All of these are going to be released within the next 3 months of posting. So we're just look at these are all in 2020. Okay, so we have lots of great information coming your way. Everything is structured to actually help you really utilize the global visibility matrix. Everything you need is right here within the Producers Club. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next element and get on the set. So watch for the next video.